Welcome to Beyond the Nudge, the podcast for women over 50 who are ready to grow joyfully, take action with ease, and fully step into their age of empowerment. I'm your host, Kia Eileen, and this is your invitation to go beyond the whispers of intuition, dive deeply into your potential, and create the life and impact you've always dreamed of. Expect monthly themes and transformative insights, powerful frameworks, and practical tools to help you reconnect with your purpose, overcome challenges, and align with your most radiant self. Here's what's in store: practical wisdom, actionable tools, and frameworks from spirituality, psychology, and metaphysics to help you grow, inspiring stories from me and from others who've transformed their lives and embraced their full selves, and empowered action to help you move from dreaming to doing with clarity and confidence. This is more than just a podcast. It's a space for transformation, empowerment, and connection. If you're ready to move beyond the nudge of intuition and into your fullest expression, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Your best you is waiting beyond the nudge. Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 10, episode 10 of Beyond the Nudge. And as before and in previous months, I've set a monthly theme that's really going to help you move sort of to that next step. But I thought it would be a good idea to really revisit, first of all, sort of what are the themes about, right? What are the themes about? Why am I doing this? So as I was sort of meditating last year on what I wanted to offer this year to my community, I like to set themes for the year. What is this year's theme going to be? So I really was feeling into it. And so I've decided, and I'm offering that this year is your year of significance. So 2025 is your year of significance. And so what does that mean? So really stepping into your full power, your fullest embodiment, and how you show up in the world, how you show up in your family, how you show up in your community, how you show up in your business or your career, showing up as that full version of you and really claiming your space, claiming up and living all of the space that you are here to inhabit. You're here to showing up as your fullest self. So really being significant, important, knowing your significance. And I loved the feeling of that, I guess a lot of times, over 50, a certain age, you're kind of like shying away from things. You're kind of moving, taking a step back, feeling that the world is sometimes passing you by. So what happens when we shift that narrative and we really stand in our power and we step forward? We can affect great change and have great lives as well. So that's what the year of significance is. And so each month has had a theme to kind of help you really begin to embody significance and what it means to you. So January was License to Lead and all themes around leadership. February was Love Without Limits and really what that means, like really living and loving fully. March was the courage to change, right? And sometimes this requires us to step out of our comfort zone, step out of, who we sort of had developed into maybe kind of like smaller versions of ourselves. And what does it mean to actually change, to let go of those past perceptions and old paradigms and old stories, to change and shift into this bigger, more impactful, more full version of ourselves. And so April's theme, I can't believe we're in April already. It's nuts to me. We're in Q2. If you're in business, quarter two, we are in April. Spring is coming. Spring is here. Well, sort of, depending on where you are in the world. It's sunny, but very chilly here, still in the UK. So spring is here ish. Um, so there's an awakening, an emergence the flowers are actually starting to blossom and bloom, and there are bugs flying around, and there's more sun, and the time has changed, the clocks have changed here. So there's this air of emergence. And so this month is all about possibility. So the power of possibility and what that means, that kind of that sort of energy, that means you can do anything. You can have anything. You can be anything. Any version of yourself that maybe you've put on the back burner, projects and dreams that maybe still are sitting somewhere inside of you, that possibility. So we're going to really tap into what it means, the power of possibility this month. And I hope you do join us for that ride. And so today's episode is really going to help us begin to embody possibility. Today's theme is daring to dream big. Daring to dream big. And what does that mean? What does that mean for you? What feelings or what energy comes up inside of you when I say daring to dream big? Does it feel achievable? Does it feel like you've already been dreaming big and living the dream? Or does it feel like, ooh, daring to dream big? I dare not. Maybe that feels a little bit too big. Maybe daring to dream big is for other people, not me. So, what does that mean for you when I say daring to dream big? And I think it's important to understand our own definition of what our dreams are or what our hopes are and what it means to dare. Do we give ourselves permission to fully go there into the space of daring? Because as children, I'll take myself back a few decades for sure, but as children, as a child, I can remember sort of being filled with imagination and playfulness and creating and thinking, the world is sort of this space where I can almost do anything. So what does that look like? You get to play, you get to imagine, you get to dream as children. And life feels like it's filled with all of this possibility. And sometimes we get asked by the adults in our lives, what do you want to be when you grow up? And a lot of times we kind of say what we see, what our parents do, what we see our neighbors do, what we see in our neighborhood. Now, that's extended to maybe what we see on social media. But we can begin to fantasize about our future and what that might look like. Sometimes we know, sometimes we don't. And so maybe you have embodied that dream. Maybe you are living your childhood fantasy. And that dream that you had as a child, maybe you are embodying that and actioning that in your life right now. But sometimes we kind of get pulled off track. Sometimes life unfolds differently than our childhood dreams. Maybe we were told to be a bit more realistic. Maybe we were told those dreams were too big for us. Maybe people from your background or, your neighborhood or your family composition, maybe they don't do those things. Maybe there was, pressure from the family, you are going to do this and not that. So life begins to unfold a little bit differently. Maybe we're following a tried and tested path. This is what children do in my family, and so this is what I will do. And so we're following this kind of tried and tested path. Maybe we are following a path of comfort instead of fulfillment. All of that is okay. But now we're getting to a point in our lives where we can begin to ask ourselves the question, am I living my dream? Or am I living someone else's version of a dream? Because sometimes when we do that, we are following someone else's dream that they have for themselves and maybe didn't follow the path. And so they're living vicariously through us. Or they, with the best intentions, wanted us to follow paths that seem to have a lot of security and structure and longevity. And so we follow these paths, but it's not really fulfilling us. And so we can begin now to ask the question, am I fulfilled? Am I feeling like I'm filled with purpose and joy? Am I really creating the impact that my soul wants to have in this life? And so here's another question that we can begin to ask ourselves. If you had a childhood dream or a passion, from childhood, and you said, no, I really want to do that. If something pulled you off the path, maybe begin to ask yourself, well, what killed my dream? What killed my dream? So as I was thinking about this question for myself, I can remember, adults in my life saying, Kia, what would you like to be when you grow up? And I loved animals. I still love animals. Um, if I want sort of a little bit of escapism, I quite often will go on to social media and find animal videos and look at those because it just brings me joy. I love animals. And I have two furry, furry children, as I call them, because they just fill me with joy, my two dogs. And I can remember sort of saying, well, I want to be a vet. I want to be a vet. That's all I would ever say. I want to be a vet. And then, my parents, especially my mother, would say, well, you have to go to medical school first. So you have to become a doctor. And then after that, you have to go to veterinary school. So it's going to take you a long time. It's going to take you a long, long time to do that. And you don't like the idea of cutting up things. You don't like to dissect things. And so you have to, sometimes the animals will die. And so she kind of painted this picture. And I said, well, maybe she's right. Maybe I don't want to do that. And so I went off on another path. And I said, well, okay, I love chatting. And I love, kind of teaching and sharing messages. So I love the idea of journalism. And so I said on the path, I want to be a broadcast journalist and be the next. Well, I wanted to be the Black Connie Chung, and I'm really dating myself by saying that. But I wanted to be the Black Connie Chung in America. She was a hugely, hugely successful and popular national news anchor. And then I went to university, one of the top universities in the country for journalism, for communications. And I got there and I suddenly had this failure of confidence and said, maybe, this is too big for me. Maybe I can't compete. And I really lost my confidence and said, well, it's really competitive. And my mother had said to me before that, it's really competitive. You have to watch out. It's really competitive. And I said, maybe she's right. It's really competitive. So I need to do something that's less competitive. So I kind of talked myself out of it. I talked myself out of it. Um, and so here's the thing, sometimes we get pulled off course from our dreams. We follow another path because of something. Something happens. Something kills that dream or colors that dream. Here's the thing about the dream. It doesn't really die. We just tuck it away somewhere. And so I've always had this desire to speak and to share messages and to teach. And so here I am in my 50s doing another podcast. This is my second podcast because I really love the idea of sharing messages and communicating. I love communicating. I love communicating with people and sharing information. And so that dream of that anchor, sharing the word didn't die. It still was in there. It's just waiting for the right opportunity to emerge. So, first of all, what killed your dream? And is it still in there? ready and waiting to take shape again. Because if it's still there, ready and willing, ready to take shape again, it's saying to you, I'm still here. You've just tucked me away. Because sometimes we follow the 3 Ds. We downsize our dream, we delay our dream, or we disguise our dream for the someday. I'll do that someday. But now is the time to sort of like, go back inside and say, what is still there inside of me that's waiting to be birthed? And do I have the courage to allow that to be, to acknowledge it, to allow that to flow from me? Because I promise when we start living our dreams, we ignite something that feels so natural and so true that it can't help but to propel us forward in our lives because it's just the thing that we're supposed to do. Because if we are still masking that, if we're still hiding that, then the dream can feel really far away. It can almost feel like a luxury for something else, not necessarily for us. It's not a luxury. Your dreams are your birthright. I'll say that again. Your dreams are your birthright. They came to this space, this dimension, this planet. They came to you with you. They're intrinsic to you. They're encoded in your DNA. They are ignited by your soul and your spirit. They are yours. They are your birthright. So, what if your dream isn't something that exists in the distance, really far away? Maybe that dream is still sitting inside of you, waiting to come home, waiting for you to come home to it. It's never left you. Maybe you've left it, and it's just waiting for you to come back. Because we don't stop dreaming. We never stop dreaming. That dream never really leaves us. We just stop listening to it. We just stop aligning ourselves to it. We stop focusing on it. We stop believing in it. Doesn't mean it goes away. It's just there waiting for you to align yourself to it through your heart, through your gut, that gut instinct, through your soul, through your body. So is today the day that you can start listening to that dream again? You can start listening to your heart. You can start listening to your soul. Is today the day where you start to dare? And if you've listened to any of my episodes before, you know I love a framework. And so we're talking about daring to dream big. So let's dare. Let's talk about a really easy way for you to remember and for you to recall being daring. Dare. So let's start out with D. So you've got to decide. You've got to decide that now is the time. Now is the time. If not now, when? What are we waiting for? Because tomorrow isn't really promised to any of us. And wouldn't it be wonderful now, right now, to make the decision that I'm going to start living my dream? Now I'm going to start giving myself permission to live my dream now. So first of all, you have to decide. Now is the time. Not tomorrow, not yesterday. That's okay right now. If you decide right now, what does that look like? Well, it looks like declaring. So there's 2 Ds. So decide and declare. Speak your dream. Speak your dream out loud, share it, give it space, give it a voice. Your voice is powerful. Your intention is powerful. And when we speak and we share, we allow the universe to hear and understand that we are saying we are ready. And when we tell the universe and we tell other people within reason, you don't need to share your dream with everyone, but also people that can hold the dream and support you and elevate you as you reach for your dream. So being discerning as well. Maybe there are 3Ds, right? Decide, declare, and be discerning with who you share that with, making sure that who you surround yourself with can really elevate you and amplify your dreams. So making sure that you're fully supported. Speaking your dreams is actually the first and boldest act of becoming. So can you speak it into existence? Of course you can. It's the first step. So decide, declare, and be discerning. 3Ds. Who knew? I mean, as I said before, one of my dreams was to be this anchor, and to share and to communicate. And so I've decided, this is going to be one of my vehicles. This is going to be one of the ways that I show up in the world. Another one of my dreams, and I'll share that with you, is to be a best-selling author. And so I've started writing a book. My outline is ready. And so I've started. And that's the thing. You only have to just decide and then take the next best step. So decide, declare, and be discerning. So I'm sharing that with you so that I can be accountable to you, my lovely audience, my lovely builders. So A, align with your why. What's the reason that is important to you for living, like stepping forward in your dream, living your dream? What's the purpose that is fueling your momentum, your action, your steps, your goals? What is the deeper reason behind your dreams that matter to you? They don't have to matter to me or to anyone else. Why do they matter to you, though? That's the important thing. I want to communicate and share this message because I firmly believe that women over 50, when they are fully realized and standing in their fullest potential, fullest embodiment, they're living on purpose and they're creating impact, this revolution can change the world because we step forward in purpose, lived experience, and innate wisdom. And I believe that's a powerful combination, especially as we come together. So this is the reason why I'm doing this. My why is bigger than me. And so that helps to propel me forward. And so where are you in alignment? What's important to you? What fuels you? What can fuel your dreams when sometimes you start to take action and it might be a little bit difficult. It might be a little bit, strange. It might be hard initially because you're stepping out of your comfort zone. So what are you going to align yourself with that can keep you in that momentum? It's important to get very clear on that. What will continue to pull you forward? So get really clear and ask yourself, so what's really important to me? What is the legacy that I would like to leave for this world, for my family, for my friends, for my community, for the world? What's important to you? I believe that we're all here to make impact, no matter how small. What is important to you? Maybe really, sit in your heart, maybe holding your heart and holding your belly and just asking yourself, so what is the most important thing for me here? What is the thing that will fuel me? What's the thing that really expands my heart and lights up my soul? What's the thing that makes me smile when I go to sleep at night and makes me smile when I get up in the morning, the thought of doing that thing? So maybe that's the thing that you are aligning yourself with. So align with your why. And then R, rewrite the rules. No matter where you are in your life, I want you to ask yourself, whose rules are you following? Whose rules are guiding you? And are they in alignment with your values, your passion, and what you feel your purpose is here in the world? Is it time to let go of limitations or timelines? I'm past it. It's too late for me. There's not enough time. It's too big. It's too much. I should have done this already. Shoulds are a real killer. I should be further ahead. Or, you know, yeah, I should. And what if? So if we leave all of those behind, knowing that this is the perfect moment right now for you to start. Not everyone is meant to achieve success or to know their purpose or to fulfill their dreams in their 20s. Not everyone has to follow that timeline. Not everyone has to be, in their peak, in their full power in their 30s, or to know exactly what the thing is in their 40s. Sometimes your path isn't a straight line. Maybe it's a spiral, a circle, where it has loads of turns and it doubles back on itself and it stops and it starts again. Maybe you have been in preparation over the past 5 decades for this moment. This moment is the perfect moment. Just because it didn't happen 10 years ago, maybe it meant that you were still learning and gathering, gaining momentum for this moment, following your path and your timeline. And so let's rewrite the rules. There are no rules. Your path, your journey is particular to you, like your fingerprints. And so we do ourselves a disservice by saying, I should have done it by then, or I'm not where she is. Why will anyone listen to me? You have skills and abilities and lived experience and wisdom that sits inside of you that has been waiting for the perfect combination of all of the learning, all of the growth, all of the development, and this moment to fully birth itself. And so let that be the rule that you are following, your path. It's particular to you, not me, not anyone else. It's for you. And it's from you. It's not too late, and it's never too late to fully step onto your journey, your path, and to live your dreams. If we look at women like Oprah Winfrey, Ariana Huffington, Maya Angelou, Dame Judi Dench, uh, author Isabella Allende, and one of the most powerful leaders, global leaders in the world, Christine Lagarde, all of these women achieved great success after 50. And there are so many more after 50. What would the world look like if they said, I'm 50, I'm past it. Who's going to listen to me? What difference can I make? We only need to look around us and see that we are so blessed and so lucky to have had these women step fully into their power at, this wonderful age, their age of empowerment, because they knew their significance. They knew the impact they could create, and they lived on purpose. And so, can you leave uh, everyone else's rules? Throw out everyone else's rule book and write your own. So, rewrite your own rules. And then we have E, embody. Embody the energy that you hold within you that wishes to be expressed. What is the version of you that would show up if you were really daring to dream big? If you were living as if that dream was already in existence, if it was already happening, what would you be doing? What would your days look like? What would your actions be? How would you speak to yourself? How would you voice your truth, your needs, your boundaries? What things would you do? Those small steps. If you begin to envision yourself as the version that already exists, living your dream, you begin to shift how you behave in each moment if you're living with intention. So begin to embody that version. And here's the most important thing. As you're embodying it, please make sure you're enjoying it. Please make sure it makes you happy and you feel fulfilled. Because if it's not making you happy, if you're not enjoying it, maybe you're still following someone else's rule book. So go back to the rule book. Are you living according to your values, your beliefs, your joy? So begin to embody that and enjoy it. Because your dreams, as I said, are particular to you. You are your dream. You are your dream. So enjoy that. Because children may have, the sort of gift of starting fresh, starting new, and maybe they don't have that fear of failure, or maybe they haven't yet been tainted by the pressures of life, or they've not yet been told, be realistic, don't dream too big, don't ask for too much. Maybe they haven't yet started to embody the shame of asking for more, wanting more. And so they get to sort of explore these possibilities. So maybe we're a little bit past that. But here's the thing about dreaming over 50. It's really potent dreaming over 50 because it doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be grand, but we dream wiser. We dream wiser. We have lived experience. We have a different set of different purpose. Maybe we have different values and different beliefs about ourselves and the world, and understand what our capabilities really are, because we've done it and we've lived and we've loved and we've forgiven and we've loved again. We've experienced, and that is so important. And when we start living from this space and our soul truth, it becomes less about our ego and more about our purpose and our impact, and feeling fulfilled, feeling joyful, living with grace and ease. It's less about who we are trying to become, and we begin to stand in the space of fully allowing ourselves to be who we are meant to be. So are you ready to be who you are meant to be? Because those dreams are calling you, that version of you. This dream that you have that's inside of you is sacred. It is filled with meaning, bathed in truth, your truth. It's powerful. You are powerful. So I'll ask you this. What's the one big dream that you put on pause, that maybe you put on the back burner because life was lifing? I get it. Maybe you were like me and you had, some advice and some people who loved you very much, or, thought your potential looked like one thing, and you thought, okay, you know what, I'll do this other thing. So is there something still cooking inside of you that says, I want to be explored. I want to be given space. I want to be expressed. And I want that for you. So have you put a dream, a big dream, on the back burner? And what would happen if you struck the match and ignited that dream with intention and purpose? Are you ready to dare? Because I see you and I celebrate your dreams and I celebrate your significance. Can we go and dare to dream together? I certainly hope so. So, thank you for joining me on this latest episode of Beyond the Nudge. I hope you feel inspired, empowered, and ready to take that bold next step into your year of significance. And remember, this is just the beginning. We have so much more to explore together. Be sure to tune into the next episode where we'll dive into the theme of no more what ifs. No more what ifs. It's one you won't want to miss. Before we wrap up, I'd love to share two causes close to my heart. I proudly support Women for Women International, an incredible organization empowering women in war-torn countries to rebuild their lives, and Mantle of Hope in northern Uganda, a charity offering hope and support to the victims of sex trafficking and domestic violence. If you're moved to make a difference, I encourage you to learn more about their transformative work and consider joining me in supporting them. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and please share this episode with someone who could use a little nudge of their own. Because remember, your best you is waiting beyond the nudge. See you next time.